we move on to the next speaker of the day. So we have Chris from What Three Words. Can somebody tell me what these three words mean to you? The three words are single, gave, fruits. Single, gave, fruits. Does anybody know what these three words stand for? Now, had I known these three words and had Uber been using what three words, I would have reached here very conveniently, because these are the three words that signify or that denote the entrance to BIC. Single, gave, fruits. Now, coming to Chris, while managing large music events around the world, Chris experienced how bands constantly got lost due to poor address listing. Determined to find a better global address solution, Chris co-founded What Three Words, the simplest way to talk about location. It has divided the world into 3-meter squares and has given each a unique 3-word address, like the single gave fruits for BIC, in over 37 languages. What Three Words voice entry is coming to India in both Mercedes-Benz and Tata Motors cars, and through Alexa can now integrate seamlessly with apps, cards, and on-demand services across the country. With a loud round of applause, can we welcome on stage Chris Sheldrick.
So hi everybody, good morning. I'm Chris. I'm going to talk about addresses. So not maps, not navigation, but addresses and how we use addresses with voice. Because this is kind of a new thing that we're all having to do. And actually addresses were not ever designed to be used with voice, because they were designed about 200 or 300 years ago for a very different thing, which was to deliver post to people's houses and to identify where they live. Nobody ever thought that they would be spoken into devices like Alexa. And because that was the case, they kind of evolved in a slightly strange way. Someone actually sent me this example of the same location here in Bangalore, which is expressed in 4 different ways depending on who they have signed up to. So for the house sale, it appears as TH146B Perver Puffridge, etc. For the driver's license, there's no TH, it's in 146. The electric bill, I don't know if people here can associate with this, but addresses are never really standardized. In some countries, kind of, but this is not an amazing process of how we actually have to work with addresses, even just like text, sitting there like that. And then addresses for where we actually want to use them for navigation. So if you want to go to a stadium and you type it into one of your mapping apps on your phone, it's going to drop you a pin in the middle of the stadium, on the center circle, which is actually no use to anybody who wants to arrive at the stadium. What you actually want is to know the entrance on your ticket, or where the car park is, or somewhere much more specific. But there is just one address for each big building, and if it's a big place, then it's a big building. Also, when we're going traveling, actually in the middle of the countryside, there aren't really addresses. If I want to say where I put my tent, I don't have an address there, because this is just somewhere that hasn't been named. And then you've got a lot of the parts of cities which are being built really, really quickly, and often the government doesn't sort of catch up in terms of actually coming and naming streets, numbering houses, and you get the case where there are parts of cities all around the world where there is no address. And then thinking about things which are coming up, like drone delivery, which Amazon are working on alongside others. How are we then going to tell a drone exactly where it's going to go? They don't just want to have an address which could be kind of inaccurate or pointing to a big space. We want to use something far more precise. Now, addresses with voice, then things get very slightly worse. So in London, where I live, we have 14 roads, all called Church Road. And if you type them in, then this is exactly how it gets displayed. Some have postcodes, some don't. And it's kind of awkward to talk about which one you need. But then if you speak these to a car, then things get more complicated.
Hey Mercedes.
Yes, please.
Take me to Church Road, London.
Select entry, please.
And literally it just says Church Road, London, Church Road, London, Church Road, London. And if you scroll, Church Road, London.
What do you want to do?
And this is what we have to deal with in production, in the real world today, when we're trying to use addresses with voice. But it's kind of not really their fault, because if you were doing it today, you would never put 14 roads, all called Church Road in London. Apparently there are 91 Mahatma Gandhi roads in Delhi. This is going to be a really big menu. But we have to work with what we have. And then there are some road names which are just really hard to pronounce. I don't know if anyone's seen this. This is a road in California. I don't know what you're going to say to your car if you actually want to go to this road. Okay, thank you very much. Zizix. Okay, I did not know that, but it's not immediately evident, I think, to people. And so then we have homophone road names. So in London we have Lawn Road, Lawn, and Lawn Road, Lorne. These sound absolutely identical, and it is not simple to know which one. Or what about if I say 241st Street? Did I mean 241st Street, 241st Street, or 241st Street? If I'm saying this kind of quickly, there's a lot of ambiguity. Okay, so why do I care about addresses so much? So actually, I worked in the music business for 10 years. And some of these people don't know a lot about musicians. They get lost a lot of the time. And we were always having to turn up to concerts in the middle of like the English countryside, or it could have been at some sort of gig venue. And I was trying to just get people to arrive at 4 o'clock to set up and find the stage entrance. And musicians, certainly in London, are very bad at turning up at the right place. And I was giving them addresses with directions, and for whatever reason I just would always struggle and people were always late. And so what I tried to do was enforce latitude and longitude onto the London music business. I said, guys, you can type into your phone, your car, your sat-nav, these numbers, and you're going to arrive exactly where we are. Which is wonderful in theory, but actually when you ask people to type this in, they look at you and you're like, come on, you can't be serious. And nobody's ever asked to meet you for coffee at like 24.717323 degrees north, and so on. So I had a chat with a friend of mine who's a mathematician. We were like, how do we simplify GPS coordinates so that it's something which is really, really human friendly, something I can say, and that people just feel is really approachable. So what we did is we took the world and we divided it into 3 meters squared, the whole world. And there's 57 trillion 3 meters squared in the world. And we found that there's enough combinations of 3 words in the dictionary. So something like pirates, tigers, quiet. But we could go around the whole world and use 3 meters squared with the same selection of 3 words. Does that make sense? So it's like 3 random words in the dictionary. So if you've got pirates, tigers, quiet there, you might have a table, chair, spoon next to it, and literally around the whole world, you do this. So guys were asking about the maths earlier, so there are 57 trillion 3 meter squares in the world. If you use a word list of 40,000 words, use that, then you've got 64 trillion combinations of 3 words. So it's fantastic. But if the Earth was much bigger, it wouldn't work. The Earth is a good size. And so this is basically what it is. We just have an interface which converts these coordinates into 3 words back and forth, and it's how we make GPS coordinates really usable. And the easiest way to actually try this out is on the What 3 Words app. So when you load up the app, you'll get a map like this, and then you can just press square at the top. It just shows you the 3 words that we've already named that square. So everybody here, we've already named the 3 meter square at the front of your house and at the back of your house. It's pre-assigned, you can't change it, and it's done. And you just get the What 3 Words app if you want to find out what your 3 words are. And it's very simple. You just click around and it keeps showing you what you want to do. It's very simple. We've also done this in a number of other languages as well. So we do 40 languages, and we have English, but we've also got some Indian languages, so we have Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, Persian, Kannada, and Malayalam. You can use this in a variety of different languages to find the 3 word address that you want. That is the sort of full list, or near enough the full list of the languages that we support today. And you can use any language version anywhere in the world. So this 3 meter square I'm on right here, I have 3 English words, 3 French words, 3 Spanish words, 3 Hindi words, and so on. It's totally up to you. So if you come into our kind of world of this What 3 Words, it just means now that anywhere I actually want to talk about, I can reference by speaking the 3 words. So this would be wheat, cargo, mirror for this point here. Up in the mountains, I've got taping melds reviewers, and even on the beach, if I want to do something to maybe something get delivered on the beach, ferries, clarinet, microwave, and so on and so on. So this is how you use the What 3 Words app, and people just use this in their daily life with their friends. You find the 3 words, you come back, you put in the 3 words, you can then navigate there with Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever you want to use. But if we want to make this a standard, which goes far wider than that, we knew we had to get integrated into lots of platforms, through an API. This cannot be an app product. So we have got into quite a few mapping apps now. Not Google, not Apple yet, but we're working on it. So this is one called TripGo, where they actually support the 3 words into their search bar through our API. And again, NavMe, Pocket Earth. NavMe is the world's biggest offline navigation app, and you can just type the 3 words straight into their search bar. We also have started working with governments. So I was invited to go to Mongolia, which is an amazing place. This is the inside of a lot of Mongolian homes. The problem for the National Postal Service of Mongolia is this is the outside of a lot of Mongolian homes, which is very hard for the Post Service to locate. So whilst we have 3 English words for everywhere in Mongolia, we now have 3 Mongolian words, and this is something that the Postal Service now support. So actually our first government deal was with the National Post Service of Mongolia, and this really kind of kick-started a lot of the work we do around the world. They have a scanning, thank you. They have a scanning app. If you see here, it actually scans the 3 words, and then it will tell them exactly where to sort it when you sort all of the mail that comes in. And then they have software which they can use to deliver it. If you actually go to Mongolia, you'll see that a lot of the bars, cafes, restaurants have a sign in their window as a kind of, where you might put your address. In countries that have addresses, people use these signs. And I don't know if people know Lonely Planet travel guides. In the latest book, they've actually added, you can see in the bottom right, seeping, expanding defensively. Every place in the new Lonely Planet to Guide to Mongolia, they've added the 3-word address, as we call it, which is pretty cool. So we've got one out the front. If you come to our booth, you can have a look through. But that's just kind of our world of these 3-word addresses. And where we've built from there, we now have around 1,000 different products where you can use 3-word addresses. So a couple of examples. In the UK, actually our government emergency services have now really got behind the system. You can now call 999 in over 70% of the country, and they will accept it. This is actually some of the police software where they've actually built us a box. You can see at the top, increment, pedicure, storming. They put a box in the software. Again, they use the API, and they now, so if you call up, you've injured yourself in the forest, you don't know where you are, you can now speak the 3 words. You just get them off the app on your phone, and the app also works offline, and then you can tell them exactly where you are. Even for road rescues, the AA, which is the biggest one in the UK, they'll now accept it if you've broken down, because you always seem to break down in the middle of nowhere. I think it happens to everyone, and you can use that. So in the UK, we were last year, for quite a while, the #1 app in the App Store. So above WhatsApp, above Instagram and a bunch of others, as our kind of popularity has surged there. But what we're now trying to do is replicate what we've done in the UK and other countries. So in South Korea, we integrated into something called Kakao Map, which is just the most popular one there. We're now integrated into some ride-hailing apps. This is one called Cabify, which is big in South America. This is actually an example of our Japanese 3-word address being used in Cabify. And you can actually now, because everyone complains that taxis can't find the pickup or the destination, and we're built into Cabify. So what we have to do is do 2 things at once. We have to get more businesses and products supporting the 3 words, and then we have to get consumer awareness growing as well. And yes, we do a lot of marketing, but then sometimes we get things which land on our plate. I don't know if people have seen NCIS. Anyone watches NCIS? We were actually featured as a plot line on NCIS, and here's a short clip here.
Ladies in trouble.
Found a hidden message in a book. We think it might contain a clue as to where she is.
Failed action skin. What does it mean?
It's what 3 words. It's only a matter of time.
What Three Words is a geocoding system that maps the world into 3-meter squares, which are each given a unique 3-word identification. Skin-filled action is 9 square meters somewhere on the planet.
So we were pretty happy when we saw this on the TV. Thank you. And we get a lot of people learning about us through crazy stuff like NCIS and all sorts. But there's a lot of companies who also care about the future of addresses and voice. So these are the companies who've actually invested in What Three Words so far. So we've got people like Mercedes-Benz and Subaru, who are the car companies, Deutsche Bahn, the German railway system, Intel, who you'll know, Sony. So a lot of people who are now moving their businesses into mobility are investing in What Three Words. So now, What Three Words and voice specifically, this is what we've been focusing a lot on in the last year. And there's one really important thing that we did to make What Three Words work well with voice, which is when we assigned all of the 3 words around the world, you have to make a decision. Are you going to put table, chair, lamp and table, chair, lamps next to each other or really far apart? And we chose to make them really far apart because we know that voice recognition software is not perfect in terms of what you say. So we can make it a lot easier for it. So if you have a skill, let's say, which wants to book you a taxi, and you are in New York, and the voice recognizer picks up table, chair, lamp, you can automatically correct yourself, and it knows that I meant table, chair, lamps. Now this is a kind of simple version, but what we do is part of our API actually really helps you eliminate things that you might have said just based on that location. So we know each time what you did say. So our voice recognition is close to 100% accurate if configured correctly. And so the first person to put it in for navigation was Mercedes-Benz. If you buy a new Mercedes-Benz car now, it will have What Three Words built into it as standard. You can't even turn it off. And this is how you use it in their cars.
Hey Mercedes, how may I help you? What 3 words? Glass, keys, rooftop.
Select an entry, please.
Number 1.
The route is being calculated.
And that's it. You literally just get in your
Please
car.
follow the road for 700 meters.
Okay, thank you. You get in your car, you say the 3 words, and off you go. And it's really that simple. They've taken all that complexity out of the addresses and which one, and it's just speaking a 3-word address. We've now just launched our first one in India 2 weeks ago. So the new Tata Motors Nexon has got What Three Words inside as well, and this is how it works there.
Navigate to banana, table, food.
Navigate to banana, table, foot, and because the data was slow.
Available. Select a line number.
There we go.
Line 1.
Sure, taking you to your location.
So this was demoed 2 weeks ago in Mumbai, and this is now the first Indian car to have it in. So this is mega exciting, and we are putting in a lot of effort into India. So how we're working with Alexa, we've now built our first skill, and it's called 3-word go, and we've actually been helped a lot by the Alexa team in Seattle. And what this actually lets you do is order an Uber to and from a 3-word address. I think if you use the Uber skill itself, you have to actually preload a favorite, which I think is difficult if you want to choose a new location. But with the 3-word go skill, you can just specify any location with 3 meters of accuracy and book it just using one command. So this is how it works. Alexa, ask 3-word go to order me a ride from Phil's Count Soap to Index Home Raft.
Okay, I found Index Home Raft near Bayswater and Salt Count Soap near Bayswater. Should I get an estimate from Uber?
And it works like that. Okay, enough. And that is how it works. You just all in one go. I want to order an Uber from word to word. And that's how it works. We're now also playing around with Apple Watch, and we do this, and we've made our own What Three Words voice API, so you can actually get the whole experience, both the voice ASR and the What Three Words post-processing, all through our API. And we've got it working in Hindi, so this is how it works here.
Hi, this is Vajan, and I'm just going to demonstrate speaking a few Hindi three-word addresses here in London. Kela Manta Board. Prati Dilana Chehkate.
And so on and so on. I guess the point is we actually recorded that film 6 times, and each time it just gets all of them right, first time, every time. And that's kind of what I'm coming back to, about our accuracy is really, really high because we configured it like that. And if anybody wants to challenge me, I have my watch and we can try it out there by the What 3 Words booth after in the break, and just give it a go and see how What 3 Words works with voice. So just the last couple of things then. I wanted to say we're now, so What 3 Words is from me and my 2 friends, the mathematician and the linguist. We're now 120 people, and we're growing, and we're now hiring. So people to work on India, but based in London, and also we're hiring people who are going to be based in India, and I think we're going to open our office here in Bangalore. So if you know anybody who's interested in coming to What 3 Words, what3words.com/jobs, and please spread the word. If you're interested in developing something with What 3 Words, everything that I've just shown you is all available here on our developer site, so developer.what3words.com, and all the information is there. So that's it from me. I'm just going to close out with a short video showing why we think that this is going to be the future of voice addressing.
Diamond Voter Asset.
Alexa, order me a rice tea splash about cream.
Tell Luck Driven.
We have integrated What 3 Words. The unique 3-word combination makes it easy to navigate to any location.
Hey Mercedes,
Yes, please.
take me to What 3 Words, hello, page, brand.
Please select an entry.
Number 1. Start route guidance.
Route guidance is starting.
Männer blocken Akten.
Die Zellennummer bitte.
你好，
少男跪在底薪。
请选择一条记录。
Get confirmed types, places, jobs.
Thank you very much.
That was phenomenal. Can we have a really loud round of applause for What 3 Words and Chris? As someone who has struggled with the 3 words straight, dead and left for a long time in my life, I cannot wait for this technology to come and be as popular as it can be. Can I invite on stage Sunit, who's part of the co-organizing team here at Alexa Community Bangalore, to give a small token of our appreciation to Chris.